What's up?
I'm Jill at Coach Shield on April.
Ethan would fight me on this. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm just tired today. It's like day 3 of my cycle. Day 3 is the worst day for me because if this yucks you out,
Tough.
I keep saying my content lately. I'm like, if that bothers you, take it up with your therapist. I just like bleed so much on day 1 and 2, and then I feel like on day 3, I'm like, I feel like I look pale. That might not be accurate. It might be the fact that there's a light on right now, but I just like, I think I slept through all my alarms.
Did.
I feel like I look pale. I just am like, what just happened for the last 2 days? But you know, we're here, so my brain just feels like it's like moving through sludge today.
Valid. Is that your card?
It can be my hard.
It
We
doesn't
can
have to
roll
be.
with it.
As always, we are starting with hards and joys. Things that were hard from your week, things that were hard today, yesterday, the day before, up until last week when we did the episode and talked that shit again.
Yeah, I can roll with that being my hard. It also just like, I had the most intrusive morning yesterday morning, and I'm just like, how is this how we're meant to function? Like, what's TMI? I don't think there is.
It's our fucking podcast.
I was like laying in bed yesterday morning, and I was like half awake, and I was like, what is that sound?
Yeah.
Could you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot. Oh my god, it was so. Thank you, God, for saying something.
I just like don't understand being a menstruating
That was
human.
fucking.
It was like almost like a sputtering sound, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And I reached my hand down, and I pulled my hand out of the blanket, and I was like, and for context, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't know?" No, I knew. I was wearing both period underwear and my menstrual cup. And it was like 6:30 in the morning, and now my hand's like covered in blood, and I'm like trying to get out of the bed, and then I stand up, and then I can feel it running down my legs, and I'm like trying not to drip on the carpet, but I also need to get a new pair of underwear out, and then I get to the bed. There was
a third back and forth. That's what woke me up.
Because I was just gonna go, and then I was like, well, what are you gonna put on after? So then I like turned around, and then I like go back to the door, and then I'm like, well, both of your hands are covered in blood, so how are you gonna open the door? So I just had to like sacrifice Ethan's towel that he hangs on the back of the door. And then I just like got in the shower, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, like the third back and forth has like disturbed me enough to be like, something's like wrong. That Jill doesn't do this shit. And then as she said, it's 6:30 in the morning. There's already sun out, and as I'm like going unconscious again, I catch a glimpse, and it's like to her knees on both legs. I don't think so, but holy God, yeah, that was fucked up. Not in like a period way, in like a.
Why is this a topic to discuss? Because it's a regular function that happens in a human body. Like I led with, if it's TMI, take it up with your therapist.
Also, this is fucking TikTok.
It was just like
weird shit.
It was just like so intrusive, and I was just like, as if this is being a menstruating human, and we're just. I don't have the energy to yell at you right now. It was just like so intrusive, and I was like, being a human is just like so annoying to me. And then we're just supposed to like function through the day. Like, what do you mean? Like, take a shower, clean yourself up, away you go. So that was my hard, and now I'm just like really tired today. And people like that are also my hard, because this is why women don't. But this is female? Like, I'm gonna go on my feminist spiel of this is why women function through life in pain and uncomfortable and low iron and struggling through functioning through life, because the second a woman's like, hey, this is a thing that's happening to me that is like really uncomfortable, people are like, oh, don't talk about it, shut up, hush hush.
Sorry, you keep talking. I'm just agreeing with all of this.
And then like women just function through life thinking the way what they're dealing with is normal, even though it's not. And then they end up in like the worst situations because they're just like, well, I didn't know that this wasn't a normal thing. Why? Because nobody fucking talks about it. And when they do, people are like, ew, gross, don't talk about that. And then women don't realize they're like unsafe or unhealthy, or there's something wrong with them because they were too scared to say anything. And when that energy comes from other women, I'm like, you are the reason the world functions the way it does. You are the reason systems are built on men. You are the reason men make all of the decisions, because you also have the struggles, but you shit on other women for talking about it. Like, women like that are the reason that the patriarchy will never die.
Unequivocally. This is like men's fault. Women are the literal problem. Because that's fucked up. This isn't even a function of my body. But it also is something I should fucking understand and know to the best of my fucking ability in loving a human that this happens to, in raising one. I'll never I've never in my fucking life understood the male ick to understanding how people you love's bodies function when it's hurting them.
And just like, I want Ethan's kid to grow up and be able to like come to me or him. It'll probably be me because that makes more sense, but like, she could go to Ethan too and not have to be hush hush about what's happening in her body. Like, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday and she was like, yeah, when I was younger and I first like started getting my cycle, I would literally pass out from blood loss. Like, my mom would like hear me. We knew that was coming. My mom would like hear me pass out on the bathroom floor from blood loss, and like, I don't want younger women thinking that's just like what they have to deal with.
So we just got a TikTok warning for the record.
Yeah, I just think there are so many things growing up that I didn't say or didn't bring to my parents, and I don't know if they ever intentionally made it unsafe, but I also very much think that was the world of like, don't talk about it, don't share about it, don't speak about it. And I'm tired of living in that world where we have to be like so hush hush about normal shit that we have to deal with every month. I understand there's a time and a place. Like, I'm not going to tell Ethan about how much I bled while he's eating. I'm not going to like walk into every store, but like, I just think there needs to be more places on the internet where people are like, hey, this is a thing that happened to me. And it's like actually not normal. It might be common, but it's not normal. Like, I have to book an appointment with my doctor because I shouldn't be bleeding that much. You should be able to sleep through the night. You should be able to get through your workday. You should be able to play a sport. Like, as much as it might only be 2 days, like, I still should not be bleeding that much. And my doctor even said it. Like, I had a copper IUD before. She was like, you shouldn't be bleeding more than you were with a copper IUD. And I am bleeding far more.
So much more. So much more.
But if I didn't say the thing out loud, I would just be like, oh, well, this is the thing I have to deal with. And somebody else might listen and be like, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be bleeding uncontrollably. But yeah, weird energy from other women always sits funny. Like, I'm like, you're weird. You're weird. And you're the reason this world will continue to function the way it is. What's your hard love?
Some of you know, I've been in the process for a little bit now of getting official diagnosis for the things that ail me. And that process has meant taking a lot of tests and a lot of interviews and a lot of checks, and that's not really it's like intrusive, but I talk about this shit enough. It's whatever the fuck. But the hard was one of the avenues I'm going down gave me their prep letter. I didn't know they were gonna give me a diagnosis. I expect one from my therapist, and the way that he's going about it in conjunction with, that's the right word, with my doctor. That'll be the official one that I accept. But this is another diagnosis given by a team of psychiatrists, and it is quite the list. And it's not things that I didn't necessarily know, and I knew that I would feel a way. I haven't like invested a ton of energy into this, but it did make me pause. There were a couple on there that I wasn't expecting. We had initially ruled out. Do I want to say this? About 5 years ago, we ruled one of these things out because it didn't fit all of the criteria, and we really understood that it has a look-alike. It has a looky-loo, a little sister that's off to the side here, and that's what we know that I have. That's actually on the list too. But this thing that I was cleared of made the list, and apparently, I'm learning currently. That's scary. As confident as I am, as good as I am with these things, as understanding and accepting as I am, and I will be. Unfortunately, it does make a lot of sense, and that sucks. It sucks. It already sucks. Um, so because I know there's going to be more testing now because of that, and as much as I want the answers, it's scary. It's scary for what it means for me later in life. It's scary for what it means for my people later in life. Um, so that's hard. It's hard to, as much as it's great, it's hard. I am not scared of the thing. It is just scary to know that there are some very wild possibilities that land way too close to home to be true now. And that's always hard. Yeah. You'll be fine.
What do you mean? I'm not really worried about me. I can't watch Ethan cry on day 3 of my cycle. I actually can't watch Ethan cry most of the time. This is my least favorite empathetic trait, by the way, is I cry when other people cry. And then everybody's like, why are you crying? I don't know, because they're crying.
I get that one.
I do it all the time. Like, if my auntie cries now, I'm like, don't cry. And I don't actually know why it's my least favorite thing, but then, because people are always like, wait, why are you crying? I don't know. I saw tears, and now I have them also. Yeah, it will all be fine, but I think new diagnosis is.
I know, that's such a weird
Sorry,
word.
I
These
didn't.
diagnoses, trust me, I thought that was inspired about 15 fucking
I was like, huh?
Because even though I know there's a piece of me, it's like, yeah, but it moved because it was down on the front of the whole ass panic.
Yeah, I think that diagnoses is
diagnoses. That's what. Trust me, I had a full on. I got stuck in this. This is for too long the other day trying to explain this to somebody. I was Kayla, and she just looked at me like, "Do I touch him? Do I?" Like, it was this. It was really bad. It's diagnoses.
Yeah, I think they're great, but also come with, like you said, tests and systems and doctors and people and explaining your lived experience to anybody for the sake of some letters on a piece of paper is like not really very fun.
Yeah, and like the end goal for me is getting some extra support that I admittedly need. Like I'm running into things that I just don't understand about my fucking brain. About yep, about a lot of things about me, and I understand so much. I've learned so much about me. Is why I can function the way that I do in this world. But reading, so they give you the diagnosis and then they explain it in a very big paragraph with very big words. But like the explanation on the first one was for ADHD, and the explanation on the second one was for autism. And little Ethan broke my heart. To read that and be like, man, what were we supposed to do? But what we did. I'm not doing it again. I'm done talking about this. We can go on to Joy.
I don't think you're supposed to do anything. I think you did exactly what you needed.
That's what I mean. Well, when you survive, team, before we exit, you question how you had to survive. When an abuse is there, you really question how you have to survive. It actually kills most of us. Fun stat. The what I had to do to survive part. When we get to if we make it to therapy, if we make it to trying to heal, that piece kills most of us. So to be validated in surviving. It always does this to me because like I validate myself in surviving. I talk to myself all the time, especially when it's hard. But like on paper, I survived.
Yeah, and everyone has their own version of that. Like, even if it's not to Ethan's case, like, I think about when I was in like a deeply narcissistic relationship, like, even if it's smaller scale, everyone has their version of doing what they needed to do to get through whatever they needed to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always hard looking back, being like, why was I doing that? But in the moment, it was what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Joy. Oh, yeah, I'm honored to be here and support Ethan and do all the things. I'm not saying that it's not hard. Like, there's some days that are really hard on all fronts, but at the same time, like, I just think that my job is to support and help and direct. And even as simple as like, I'll go with you to that appointment. Like, sometimes that's all people need. Um, but yeah, on to Joy's. I met this man named John. And he builds birdhouses. Well, he doesn't just build birdhouses, he also builds little tiny chairs. And I wish I had a function for one of his little tiny chairs, but I don't.
You could put a plant on it.
Yeah, like I was like literally standing there. I'm like, what can I use this little chair for?
I bet that if you asked when you take this thing over to him, it'd be like, instead of it being a chair, could you just make me a cool planter box?
Like, I think they're like little rocking chairs. But anyways, I've walked past his house like a million times walking this one dog, and there's always a sign on his front yard that says like, this year we're donating to these charities and my goal is $500 each. And I've always been like, what like what charities, what are we doing, what are we building, what's happening? And then I walked past the other day and he was in his garage building stuff. So I was gonna just like walk past on the other side of the street, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over there. And thank God I worked on my social anxiety, because I just like walked up to this strange man's garage, and I was like, hi, excuse me. And he like turned around, and he was like, oh, hi. I was like, do you build these birdhouses? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, can you tell me about them? And let me tell you, sometimes all you need to do is ask an autistic person to tell you about the thing they're doing. And he went on to tell me that he like builds all these birdhouses, and the little tiny chairs he used to build for his kids. But like his youngest kid is 55, so since then he's like built them for like his grandchildren and other kids and blah blah blah. And he builds all of these things from fully Canadian materials. And when he said that, I was just like, I would meet somebody that builds birdhouses from only Canadian materials. Like, the wood is Canadian and the rocks he uses are Canadian, and he uses a Robertson screw because it's Canadian instead of a Phillips screw. And I was just like, what? And then he builds all these birdhouses and he donates them to charity, and he picks 2 charities every year, and his goal is $500 each per year. So I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to buy a birdhouse. But I was walking a dog, so I was like, I'll come back. And then I came home and told Ethan, and then Ethan was like, call him right now and get that birdhouse. Because also the birdhouse, the first birdhouse I saw was purple with green rocks, and Ethan's favorite colors are purple and green. So I was just like, he was like, oh, nobody ever buys the purple and green ones.
Duh.
I will. That's how I ended up with a dog. Nobody wanted this one. I'll take it. So he was just like a very wholesome man, and he would have talked to me forever about his birdhouses. And then Ethan and I went back yesterday and got a birdhouse, and I was like, do you prefer cash? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I don't have cash, but like, can you put my name on it and I'll pick it up Thursday? He was like, you can just take it and like bring me the cash on Thursday. And I also told him in our first conversation how my dad is a big bird guy, and how my dad has one of those like camera bird houses. So like a bird lands and the camera like picks it up, and then it sends a notification to your phone to tell you what type of bird is at your birdhouse. And he was like, oh, those ones are so cool. They're just like a little bit pricey. So then this is where I get it from. My dad texts me and he's like, can you send me John's info? I could use a birdhouse. Um, so I'm talking to my dad and I was like, oh, I told him that you have your like camera birdhouse and he thinks it's really cool, but he said they're kind of expensive. And then my dad calls me and goes, I ordered John a birdhouse. What? So now I have to deliver, or I get to deliver this birdhouse to this man tomorrow. And I have to explain to him that I posted a video on social media and now lots of people want to buy his birdhouses. And also my dad bought him the birdhouse with a camera in it because my dad said people that are doing nice things deserve a gift.
Yeah, that is where you get it from.
And that's where I get it from. So he's like, I'll drop it off at your house and you can take it to him. And John's going to be like,
what the fuck happened?
why do I have this birdhouse? And what do you mean a bunch of people want to buy my birdhouses? And so
yeah, I'm literally gonna have to offer my help to this man. He's gonna have so many orders. He's gonna take my number when this happens because you're about to get an influx of calls. I'll come help you do this. You just tell me point and shoot, and I got
like
you.
I can paint, you can cut, like we can. So yeah, I think
I'll do the pebbles. Like I'll help you out, my guy.
My dad doesn't work on Fridays. He can help,
don't tell him. Do not tell your dad. He can help build birdhouses.
We're gonna start a whole workshop in this.
This is about to be fun. We're gonna have a weird summer. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. So I haven't handed out his number yet because when I bring him his money and his birdhouse tomorrow,
I'm gonna help John, and then he's gonna make a charity about the sponsor meals, and that's how he'll support it. And that'll be the side hustle.
Yeah. So when I go tomorrow, I'm gonna give him a heads up that like I do work on social media and I made a video about it. And now people want to buy his birdhouses, and also my dad bought you this birdhouse.
When is this?
I can come home.
Yep, I'm coming for this one. I need to see this.
And I want to give him a heads up because I'm like really not trying to like overwhelm this old man. Like I'm not trying to just like hand out his phone number and then all of a sudden he has like 30 people calling him. Like I want to give him a heads up and be like, I can like only give a few people your number once. Like I don't want to overwhelm this man.
I can create a waiting list for the next year if you like.
Yeah, because he said it takes him like 2 weeks to build a birdhouse. So I also don't want like 30 people calling him at once and him being like, holy shit, I don't have this many birdhouses. So I gotta go. I gotta go chat with John and be like,
with great power comes great responsibility. Jill's over here just doing good work.
Because everybody's like, can I have his phone number? You can, but I need to talk to him first. Because if I all of a sudden got like 40 phone calls, I'd be like, and then I'd probably stop building birdhouses. So yeah, that's my joy. He's gonna hit his $500 per charity.
People might just donate to the charity at this point. Yeah.
My birdhouse is really cool.
It is. Yeah, it's nice out.
What's your joy?
I'm trying to think of one currently.
That's fair.
You're gonna. It took way longer than I thought it was gonna. That took way longer than I thought it was gonna. Excuse us for this commercial break. Are you ready? You ready?
It's like, it has a chimney. He vented the birdhouse. There's like little vent things under the roof. You can, you unscrew the bottom in the fall. Remove to clean out nest in spring. There's even instructions on the bottom. You unscrew this to clean it out. It's like there's drain holes in the bottom. He does sign them. I love it. The roof is cool. Like he didn't just build like, yeah.
Yeah, it is neat.
It's my birdhouse. And I can't wait to have birds. I don't even like birds, but
$68 each.
I like this size of bird.
He prefers cash. If you can make it happen.
He prefers cash because it's easier for him to keep track of. It's $68, which means I'm giving him $70 because why did you make them $68? So yeah. No, he just sells from his garage. He just has a little sign on his yard that says,
Yeah, like I really think like when we do see him tomorrow, I'll have a couple of questions. Like, is it just local or like, you know, how's this work? Because
he said he just couldn't do nothing when he retired, so he started making birdhouses.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't usually really fuck with old white men, but I think John's cool.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Deeply autistic, because what do you mean you know this many things about birdhouses?
Yes.
I'm not going to tell him now, though.
No.
He's made it this far in life. He'll be okay. He did get the partner thing down instantly. He did assume my partner was a male, but at least he said partner.
Pull this over here. Oh, I mean, I guess it's the only thing I can think of currently. When did I go? Two things, both moving my body. No, I think that I said that last time. Did I say climbing with Kayla last time? I got to climb with my partner. That was fun. But the more recent piece of movement was adding some Olympic lifting into my training again, and I haven't touched Olympic lifting in a couple of years now. I was used Olympic lifting when I went back to football from my ACL injury, but then when my meniscus when I stopped altogether, and so I haven't really touched or got to play with it in a long time, and it's just so much fucking fun. It's just fucking fun. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that's my joy is that movement's been going well again, and still finding more of it. Still need to find a little bit more, but just been enjoying the process and feeling my body do the thing. I'm starting to see some changes.
Do you guys have any joys you want to share?
Thanks for sharing your heart and joys. Thanks for letting us kill the live. What's our topic today, love?
We're going to talk about why it's hard to find partners. We had a struggle come in that was specifically talking about why it's hard for like guys to find partners. But I don't think it's specific to if you're a male polyamorous human, it's hard for you to find partners because I'm a female polyamorous human and I think it's hard to find partners. Mm-hmm. So I just think in general, finding safe, healthy partners in this space is hard. My wife and I have been in an open poly relationship for the past 5 years. Well, she's been able to find and date people pretty easily. I often feel like I'm just sitting on the sidelines. I've dated 2 poly people, but that didn't happen until 3 years into our relationship. Right now, she has a poly boyfriend and is also seeing 3 other poly married guys. Meanwhile, I'm at the point where I feel desperate and jealousy creeps in more often than I'd like to admit. I can't help but wonder why is it hard for me to find people. I guess my depression and anxiety play a role and it makes putting myself out there even harder. I just want to connect, but sometimes I feel stuck. Has anyone experienced this?
There's a couple of things in that one. Because it doesn't say how the asker, the OP, whatever, is going about finding connection. Nor does it state how the wife is. But you can hear in the way that he frames it, has 4 other partners.
She does, yeah.
Yeah. And jealousy creeps in more than he cares to admit. That's not a sentence that people say without jealousy running their entire shit.
Yeah, I say it all the time that like I get envious of Ethan and like to the post credit, like sometimes I am like, oh, what the heck? How come I don't have anyone to hang out with? But I can also reflect on the fact that like I don't put myself out there nearly as much as Ethan does. So like you get what you give.
And that's what I mean about they didn't say how they're both going about trying to find people and connection.
Yeah, but it's never jealousy for me. It's like, oh, I wish I had a person to exist with too. So And there's been moments early on where I've like come to you being like, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm like not actually poly if I like don't have other partners, but that's like not true. You're polyamorous as a human, whether you have 17 partners or none. And I think settling into the fact that like that is you as a human being, not a relationship style, makes a really big difference mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not polyamorous because you have multiple partners. Um, you're polyamorous, period. And then you can choose to have as many partners as you want as a
Mm-hmm.
polyamorous human.
Yeah.
But your number of partners does not change
Doesn't qualify
you.
your polyamorousness. Um, it have has the conversation also been had? Have you actually brought it up that you feel this way about your to your own words how you feel about your wife and her partners and her having partners and whatever the fuck it is? Have you brought this up in genuine conversation, or have you just let jealousy run your shit and you brood?
Yeah, because it's also sounding a little bit like he kind of dug himself a hole of like,
That's we try to hold space for not knowing what we know, but this was an open-ended question, and we've lived enough in this life and enough exchanges and seen and met enough people in and out of polyamory to know that there's, if you actually say it out loud, this shit's easy.
yeah, like, and by dug himself a hole, I mean in the sense of like, you probably should have brought this up to your partner on the
Partner number
first
one.
the first
Yeah,
partner
yeah.
that wasn't you, or the second partner. Like once you clocked like, oh, the more partners she gets, the worse I feel about myself, means that should have been a conversation early. And that's not to say that it's not to say that the wife has to do anything different. It just might be like, oh, I need a little bit more time with you, or we need to find things to do. um like for myself, sometimes the only time I actually get like a titch of jealousy is when Ethan like watches an entire movie with a partner and him and I haven't like had any downtime together. And I know that's jealousy because I'm like, what the heck? How come he can sit there for
Her
two and a
pout
half
face
hours?
fucking kills me every time.
How come he can sit there for 2.5 hours with them, but not me? And then it's also like, you could just ask, and it might not be 2.5 hours, but you could just ask for your own version of that. So that's what I mean by dug a hole. Like if things have started on partner one, you should have brought that up so that it can be sorted through and you can request your shit, versus now that your wife has four other partners and you're like, I hate that you have four other partners. We're in a little bit of a hole now.
Do you want the answer?
What? Of why you can sit still with them and not me?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because I don't see them.
And I can like logically be like, yeah, we coexist all the
I'm
time.
not. Also, I'm not being coy. I'm not saying like you should know this. Like going over, I know I have to make peace with sitting. It's not like a. It's not like a. I walk in the door and go. It's not. No, like I have to prepare myself to sit. I could say no, I don't want to watch that movie, but I would rather just accept the time that I get because it's what we asked for. I don't actually want to really sit still. I have a hard time sitting still until I don't. I am currently sitting still with Jill. But this isn't downtime. This isn't like I get it. But at the same time, like Jill gets the most downtime with me at all right now. And for a long look at her face. A long, long time. Loads of it.
Okay, but sometimes when we're both like, sometimes when we're both moving in like 8 million different directions, and then somebody gets here and you're just like planted, I'm like, ah. But then I'm also like, have you asked him for that? Have you said like, hey, love, instead of like, could we watch a show for a bit? Or could like, I can also logic myself of being like, but you haven't asked, so you can't expect him to just volunteer watching a movie for 2.5 hours, because I know it's hard for you to sit still. But anytime I ask, it's like, oh, well, maybe not a movie, but like we could watch a show, and like that does the same in my brain. It's just only when we're like moving in 8 million different
Like you
directions.
can see it on her face.
And then I'm like, what the heck?
Like Jill literally
How did he
gets
sit
the
still for that
most
one?
downtime with me. She gets me to sit still. She sleeps beside me, and like I don't sleep. There is so much that Jill knows this in her frontal lobe. This is not news to her, but it is like a. I have to remind her, like you get 21 and a half of my hours on that specific event because I was gone for 2.5 hours. So you got 89% of my day, and most of that was sitting within 3 feet of you. Some of that was inside of you. I don't know how much closer you need me to be for how much longer. We joke about it, and it's a joke. It's not that deep as much as it is that deep. We have to be able to joke about the thing because it is honor it so that it's said out loud, and then we get to handle it and either hold on to it or let it go. And to Jill's point, she just asks.
Yeah, but that was something I brought up to Ethan early, was that like when he would be out with his partners for like extended periods of time, that it was like helpful for me to get some intentional time with him, not just like coexisting in the same space. So I think, yeah, this specific situation, you've probably dug yourself a little bit of a hole in the sense of like you haven't said your shit earlier. So it probably is going to catch your wife a little off guard when you say like, hey, I'm actually jealous of your 4 other partners. Be like, okay, well, were you jealous on partner one?
Yeah. But also how you approach that conversation will absolutely matter because owning that part diffuses a lot of the shit that you're going to come up with if you don't. And saying like, hey, I realize now, for whatever reason, I realize it doesn't really matter. That I should have said this when at first. I thought I could deal. I really thought I could handle this, and I thought I could sift through it. But and it's been too long. I own this part, but it's important that I say it now so that at least it's said. I'm really struggling with my ability to find partners, and it's coming across like jealousy, me being jealous of you and your partners because I don't have it, and I'm not sure why I don't have it, but it's bugged me for a bit, and I should have said something earlier. I'm sorry that I didn't, but I've said it now, and I don't know how else to talk to you about this except for to say it that way. Like it really matters in owning that. Like I fucking should have said something because if you don't, to Jill's point, you're gonna meet a whole bunch of pushback because the other person then is now blindsided by a ton of information that they never had and weren't given an opportunity to deal with before this moment.
Yeah, and again, it's not expecting your wife to change anything she's doing. You just might need something for yourselves. Like when Ethan had the most amount of partners he had, uh, and we were in a triad, but like our triad was long distance, so like that felt a little bit like foreign in my system too, of being like, well, no, I have 2 partners, but one of them lives way over there. So even though I had a partner, Ethan had partners right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's always pieces that are like tricky to navigate. Like, yes, I like FaceTimed our partner frequently when Ethan was with his people, but like we all know that doesn't hit the same as having a person physically in your space. But yeah, your inability to find partners, or your struggle to find partners, does not make you less poly. And like I can speak firsthand that like, yeah, it's frustrating and it's annoying, and um it can be hard in your own brain sometimes when like Ethan's like, oh, I'm going for coffee, or I'm going to see this person, or I'm going to see that person, like when he was the busiest in our polyamory life together, and I was just being like, what, that I can't even find one person to go to for coffee with. But like that's not actually Ethan's problem at the end of the day. It's actually not even my problem at the end of the day. It's people, and people are hard, and dating is hard, and it doesn't make me less polyamorous, and it doesn't mean Ethan has to stop living his polyamorous life. It's actually not on either of us, it's on other people's inability to communicate and make a plan. Yeah, I don't really know if I have like a ton else to say about that. Like my strategies are like, if you're struggling to find partners, then focus on other things, like make plans with your friends, go see them. Like I will try to coordinate. Sometimes I like to sit in my house in silence when Ethan's gone.
Lots of the time, actually, it's like fucked up.
But
how
other
quiet it is
times
in
I'll
this house.
coordinate, like even like my sister lives in Australia, so I'll like FaceTime my sister when Ethan's gone, or I'll like go hang out with one of my friends. Like there's lots of things you can do that like make you, I think, and maybe this is something to focus on. You still need to feel like you have your own things, but those things don't have to be partners. Like go see
Mm-hmm.
your friends, do an activity, you want to watch a show, you want to watch, like have your own things that aren't just like if I don't have partners I'm unsuccessful. Like you can still have your own things to do while your partner is with their partners. It doesn't have to be partners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Like I agree with that. I think it's again and always conversation, communication, and conversation. Jill's right. You dug yourself a hole. You can get out of said hole, but you better be great at communicating all that shit, or you're tough sledding. Pick your hard. Pick your uncomfortable. I'd rather have the conversation than the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys have any questions about, as always, dating, navigating life, how we choose to connect, please let us know. You can DM us, you can pop them in the question box wherever, or you can pop them in the comments wherever you're listening. We go live every Wednesday at around like 10 or 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you're looking for a place to hang out with us where you can like live ask your questions, follow us on TikTok at Shifting the Lens Podcast. We go live twice on Wednesdays, so like in the morning / afternoon, depending on where you're at, and then in the evening as well. You can find me at CoachJill.April.
And fight me on this and Sir Lifts.
And we'll catch you guys next time.